By day, the stage is my sanctuary. Under brilliant lights and the adoration of millions, I become Celeste Marlowe, the pop icon whose voice can uplift hearts and charm even the most hardened heart. The public sees only my radiant smile and the polished glamour of a celebrated singer. Yet behind that luminous facade lies a secret existence, a hidden calling that the world is never meant to know. I have not always been this way. In my childhood, I dreamed of concert stages and melodies that could transform the mundane into the miraculous. But on the eve of my 16th birthday, an encounter with something beyond comprehension awakened a darker side of my destiny. I discovered that my voice could do more than entertain. It could summon forces that slither in the shadows. I learned a forbidden melody from a mysterious, time-worn diary, a song that resonated with the whispers of an ancient power. Every evening, as the final note of a concert faded into the night, I retreated into a secret world hidden behind locked doors and elaborate disguises. In my private sanctuary, I prepared for what others could never imagine. Among relics of old, antique instruments that carried hints of mysticism, I would rehearse that haunting melody, refining it until it became a second nature. The song was my talisman, a subtle call that stirred the restless beings lurking at the edge of our reality. On stage, the applause masked a deeper truth. With each performance, I projected an image of hope and beauty. But beneath that stage presence, a fierce determination burned within me, a pledge to confront and banish the darkness that slithered unseen in the night. I was not simply a singer, I was a guardian, a hunter of entities that feasted on despair. And though my eyes shone with the warmth of stardom, they also betrayed a secret knowledge, the power to coax nightmares into the open. Every performance was a delicate balance, a dazzling display for the crowd, and a quiet prelude to a darker, more dangerous vigil. I became the dual embodiment of light and shadow, Celeste Marlowe by day, and by night, the relentless hunter whose mission was to protect the innocent from the creatures that would prey on them. Nightfall transformed the city into a landscape of hidden peril. The familiar streets, bathed in the glow of neon lights, became a labyrinth of mystery and muted terror. In the depths of midnight, the world seemed to pause, and the whispers of ancient evils stirred beneath the surface. It was during these quiet, watchful hours that I truly came into my own. After the echoes of daytime applause faded, I slipped away into the secret passages of the city, where forgotten alleys and deserted corners held the memories of past transgressions. In the silence, I became attuned to the subtle shifts, a distant hum, an unplaceable murmur that hinted at something otherworldly. My weapon was not merely physical but also musical. I relied on the resonant force of my voice, a siren's call honed to perfection. At the abandoned opera house on the city's fringe, a relic of a bygone era, I found my training ground. There, the acoustics of the decaying hall amplified the power of my song, letting it ripple through the darkness. I practiced with a passion born of necessity, learning to infuse each note with the strength to stir entities from the depths of their hidden realms. When the time came, I would stand center stage in that forlorn venue, the air charged with a palpable tension. As I began to sing, my voice carried a melody that was both sorrowful and resolute, a blend of yearning and determination. One by one, the beings answered. They were not always seen in full form. Sometimes, only a suggestion of movement in the shadows, a ripple in the stagnant air, would betray their presence. Their outlines were vaguely humanoid, yet distorted by an essence that defied explanation. I engaged these beings with a weapon crafted for this unholy war, a silver blade etched with runic symbols whose significance reached into lost traditions. In the ensuing struggle, I moved with a measured precision, striking at the essence of the creature rather than merely its form. There was violence in the encounter, but it was tempered by the necessity of keeping the balance between our worlds. The conflicts left marks upon me, a quiet testimony to battles fought in silence, but each victory was a small act of salvation against a relentless tide of encroaching darkness. Every confrontation, every whispered clash between my melody and the creature's otherworldly howls reinforced my conviction. I was not merely combating external forces, but also wrestling with the shadows that threatened to infiltrate my soul. With every night that passed, I learned more about the fragile border that separated light from darkness and the price of maintaining that balance. As my career soared, whispers began to circulate among those who dwelled in the margins of society. Rumors of a mysterious figure, a radiant songstress by day and a fearsome shadow by night, spread through underground circles. People spoke of me in tones that mixed awe with trepidation. They said that when the moon was high and the notes of a forgotten melody filled the air, a figure would emerge, striking down those who had made pacts with darkness. One particularly frigid winter evening, I received an enigmatic message delivered to my mansion, a note scrawled in archaic script and glowing faintly with an unearthly light. The message was a summons hinting at a gathering of forces far beyond the petty evils I had faced. It spoke of a ritual designed to blur the lines between our world and the next, a convergence of energies that threatened to unleash an onslaught of malice upon the unsuspecting. The cryptic note was signed with a single symbol, a sigil I recognized from the ancient texts hidden in my diary. It belonged to a clandestine cult whose ambitions went beyond mortal comprehension, intent on harnessing infernal power. Torn between the weight of duty and the gnawing dread that came with such foreknowledge, I knew I could not ignore this call. It was a warning, and perhaps a final test of my resolve. My journey led me to a long-forgotten region, deep in a dense forest where time itself seemed to have been suspended. Under a pallid moon and amid the whispers of nature's forgotten secrets, I discovered the cult gathered in a clearing, surrounded by crumbling ruins. Their voices, low and rhythmic, chanted in a tongue older than civilization. The ritual they enacted was solemn and disturbing, a series of symbolic offerings meant to sever the barrier between worlds. I concealed myself in the darkness, my heart heavy with both sorrow and steely determination. I watched as they prepared their ceremonial instruments and drew symbols in the earth, each mark a step toward an unholy union. In that moment, my resolve crystallized. I could not stand by and allow such unbridled evil to seep into our world. With silent fury, I made my move. I emerged from the shadows with a cry that resonated with the weight of loss and anger. The confrontation that followed was a tempest of clashing wills, a struggle not just of bodies, but of souls. I wove my siren song through the chaos, its notes charged with an energy that unsettled both the cultists and the very air around us. My silver blade shone in the moonlight as I moved with deliberate grace, each calculated strike aimed at disrupting their ceremony rather than indulging in gratuitous brutality. The air was filled with echoes of determination and the soft, persistent call of retribution. Though the scene was fraught with tension and the consequences of that night would be etched into the ruins and my memory forever, I managed to disrupt the ritual. The cultists scattered into the night, their ambitions thwarted for now. Yet the experience left an indelible mark on me, a reminder that the battle between light and darkness was eternal, and that even those who fight for the greater good are not immune to the scars left by the night. In the days that followed, I sensed a profound shift within. Each encounter with the beings of the night, every conflict fought in secret, began to blur the line between the hunter and the hunted. My nightly vigils, once marked by a clear sense of purpose, now carried the heavy burden of internal conflict. The power I wielded, as potent as it was, seemed to pull me toward a destiny that was as dangerous as it was inevitable. Night after night, as I returned to my hidden sanctum, I found myself wrestling with memories and visions that threatened to overwhelm my reason. In the quiet hours, I could almost hear the murmurs of an ancient promise, a destiny that demanded more than mere survival. My reflection in the mirror grew distant, the eyes that shone with determination now clouded by the weight of countless secrets. Each scar, both visible and unseen, served as a reminder of the price of this double life. One stormy night, when the wind howled like a chorus of lost souls and lightning fractured the sky, I encountered an adversary that challenged my very core. In the abandoned opera house, a place that had once been my refuge, I faced a creature that embodied the darkness itself. It emerged from the mists as a towering presence, its eyes burning with a fierce, unsettling light. The atmosphere was thick with tension and the promise of a final reckoning. I met its gaze and began my familiar yet ever-evolving siren song, a melody imbued with the hope of redemption and the bitter taste of regret. The creature recoiled, caught off guard by the power of a voice that carried centuries of sorrow and determination. In that climactic moment, I advanced with measured resolve. My silver blade, a symbol of the fragile balance between our worlds, found its mark in a decisive blow. The encounter was swift and solemn, a confrontation where words were replaced by the language of fate and duty. The duel left me with a profound understanding that every battle, every sacrifice nudged me ever closer to the abyss that lay within. Yet I continued, driven by the unyielding need to protect the innocent and confront the darkness wherever it arose. Now, as I pen these final words in the waning light of my strength, I stand at the threshold of a truth I had long denied. The final hours approach, and I find myself reflecting on a lifetime spent straddling two opposing realms. I have fought tirelessly against the forces that sought to corrupt our world, only to discover that the true peril lay in the depths of my own soul. In these final moments, I must confess, the battles I waged were not solely against external enemies. Every note I sang, every life I intervened to save, was a thread woven into a tapestry of both redemption and damnation. I have come to see that the power granted to me was not simply a gift to vanquish evil. It was a double-edged legacy that threatened to reshape my very identity. I have lived as both savior and warrior, a beacon of hope by day and a relentless hunter by night. Yet the price of this duality has been steep. With each demon I dispatched, I felt the shadow of their despair seep into my heart. I began to question whether I was truly banishing the darkness or merely embracing a fragment of it. The siren song that once promised deliverance had gradually revealed itself to be a subtle call to a fate I could neither escape nor fully control. And now, as I lie here with the final beat of my heart drawing near, I confess that the horror of my existence is not found in the monsters I fought, but in the silent transformation that occurred over countless nights. The power I wielded to rescue others has, in truth, left an indelible mark on me, a mark that I fear will persist long after my final breath. I have become a living contradiction, a guardian whose very essence is entangled with the darkness I sought to destroy. My voice, once a symbol of light and hope, now carries an echo of sorrow and inevitable ruin. The secrets I have harbored, the battles fought in the quiet desperation of the night, all converge into a legacy that I must now pass on as a final warning. To those who listen to my tale, I offer this solemn truth. In every whispered melody, and every haunting refrain, there lies a fragment of the abyss. The price of embracing the night is not measured solely in the lives saved or the demons vanquished, but in the slow, inexorable transformation of one's very soul. May my confession serve as both a cautionary note and a requiem, a reminder that even the brightest light can be shadowed by the darkness within. As I prepare to leave this world, I entrust my story to you. Remember that every melody holds a secret, every note a hidden truth, and as you walk your own path, be ever watchful of the delicate boundary between hope and despair. For in that twilight, the true horror is not the monsters that stalk the night, but the darkness that dwells within each of us. This is my final confession, etched not in ink, but in the silent cadence of a life lived between two worlds. May you heed this warning and tread carefully, for the nightmare is eternal, and its song endures long after the final curtain falls.
Hello, my Nightmare Obsession fans. We hope you loved this story and were almost frightened to death, left wanting even more. If so, please share video and our channel link with friends and family and ask them to subscribe, like, comment, and share with their friends and family too. We really want to create more nightmarish horror stories for you. So please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel now. We would really appreciate it. Thanks so much.